Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the press conference Climate City Cup. My name is Miroslav Polzer. I'm with the International Association for the Advancement of Innovative Approaches to Global Challenges. And our organization is one of the founding partners of this Climate City Cup. The leaders of the initiative are from the ETH Zurich, the Federal Institute of Technology there, and they are these days in Barcelona, and therefore they will join us and give an introductory presentation from there, and I will now turn to them. So, Fatime, please, you can start.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, we can see you and hear you.
Great. Can you maybe turn off your microphone because we can hear the echo? Okay. Okay, so hello everyone. We're currently on the team retreat, but we are very happy to connect with you and to present you shortly the Climate City Cup initiative. So the Climate City Cup, it's a grassroots movement. It was initiated in Zurich by the professor Helbing and Stefan Klauser, and we're working with different organizations on formulating this project that will be very soon launched officially. So on the 18th of July. So what the Climate City Cup is about? Just we're checking if should I share my screen or yes.
So share the screen on here.
Okay.
Slowly.
Just view and then
You can continue talking.
do you think the microphone is off?
No, it's on.
Okay. Yes. Sorry for the problems, technical problems. Yes. So the Climate City Cup, it's a friendly competition based on collaboration. We aim to use the open source approach to enhance individual and collective actions in different cities. We would like citizens to share their knowledge on climate actions and to contribute into data collection projects. So the aim of the Climate City Cup is really to empower citizens and to raise awareness on different environmental issues and the climate change. So yes, going back to the concept founders, so it's the Professor Dirk Helbing from ETH in Zurich and Stefan Klauser from Future ICT 2.0, who had this idea, in fact, that there is a need to really involve citizens into taking actions towards climate. But we have also other partners from different organizations. So obviously we are partnering with UNFCCC, GLOCHA, ICLEI, which is also very famous institution. We have Climate Kick on board and Science Hub in Vienna. So why there is a need to talk about this initiative? What's the problem? So we know that cities are more and more populated, and with this increase of population, there is the increase of waste. There are problems with traffic congestions, a lot of pollution that creates health issues in different cities. So the idea of the Climate City Cup is to focus on 5 disciplines related to sustainable development, so those disciplines you can see on the screen. And the aim is to really provide citizens with tools to observe things, to measure things, and to somehow also play within their local community on how they can improve their daily practices. So you can see all those disciplines. We would like to measure air quality in different participating cities. We're going to talk about flight compensations, how to enhance people to to compensate their flights and to think about the CO2 emissions when they take the plane. We're going to talk about mobility and how to report on commuting practices. We will discuss few issues and questions related to food waste measurements, and we'll talk about energy consumption on the city level. So starting with the first discipline, we would like to have a look on emissions in different cities, and we would like to measure air quality in different cities. So we decided to focus on the indicator that is PM2.5. It's a tiny particle that is very dangerous for human health, and it comes from human activities such as driving buses, cars, trucks, from flying, but also burning different fuels. So for this purpose, we created this open source device, electric device, that is going to be distributed to interested people for free, given that we are lucky enough to have few sponsors on board. And this device, in fact, is able to measure air quality based on the PM2 particle. And we would like citizens to carry this device with them when they leave their houses, when they go to work, when they bike, and to, in fact, to observe the evolution or the level of pollution during the Climate City Cup, but also afterwards. So here, in fact, on the screen, you can see few prototypes that we built already. Currently, during this week, we are testing those things, and we are looking at how can we improve those devices to make them more user-friendly. And on the side, you can see, in fact, numbers. And the two last numbers, they express the level of the PM 2.5 in the atmosphere that should be divided by 10. But this is currently on the testing phase, and it's an experiment. And for the mid-July, we will have around 200 of those devices which will be ready, and we would like to distribute them among interested citizens. So the second discipline would like to have a look at mobility and commuting practices. So the idea for us is to really ask people and observe how do they commute, which mean of transportation they choose to go to work. And first of all, just gather data during 1 month to see a little bit what are the individual behaviors. And then afterwards, we would like to work a little bit on sharing knowledge on how people, they can switch from cars to more sustainable means of transportation. We will gather two types of data. One will be data that comes from an online form that we ask participants to fill daily or weekly, and they provide us with different informations. How do they go to work? Which type of mean of transportation they choose on which day? And this will apply mostly for cars, public transportation like buses, trains, and trams, but also other means of transportation. On the other side, we're going to work with an app that is called Strava, and this app can in fact measure the number of kilometers for bikers, but also when people walk. So we will have this two type of data, and we would like to see, in fact, if there is any change in people's behavior during the phase of competition, and observe a little bit like what are the practices in terms of commuting. The third discipline relates to compensation of CO2. So it relates a little bit to traveling, still mobility, but it focuses on flight. So it's a domain that is not really well known among population, even though people, they used to fly frequently, but they never really thought about the amount of CO2 in terms of kilograms that they emit when they take a plane. So first of all, for the Climate City Cup, the idea is to really communicate on this issue and to increase people awareness. And in fact, for this, we have a partnership with a Swiss foundation, My Climate. They're based in Zurich. And what they do, in fact, is that they provide a platform for travelers to measure, to assess the amount of CO2 emission when they take a flight. So here on the screen, you can see a little bit of raw data. So we can see, in fact, the city of departure and the city of arrival. Slide. It shows also what's interesting for us, the amount in kilograms of the CO2 that was emitted per passenger. And then on the column H, we can see, in fact, the price. So how much does it cost to compensate the flight? And we think that people are not well informed about this practice, in fact. And also the idea for us is to really communicate that it's not that much effort, but in fact, this money is afterwards invested in different projects related to sustainable development. So we believe that it's a very important discipline for the Climate City Cup. The fourth discipline regards energy consumption. So the idea for the Climate City Cup is to have a look on the amount of energy that is consumed on the city level at real time. There is this strategy 2000 watts, which aims, in fact, to really reduce energy consumption per citizen per hour. But before, in fact, reaching this goal, it's really important for us to be aware how much energy do we use, and have this data and communicate around and try to decrease our consumption. The worry that we have, the obstacle that we face, in fact, is that this data is not necessarily accessible so far, because it requires different technologies, like, for example, installation of smart meters, which is not really available in different cities. So as an alternative to collect this information, we were thinking about creating an online form where we will ask people to really report individually on their energy consumption, just checking their individual meters. You can see logos of energy providers, in fact, that we are working currently with. It's the EVZ, so it's a public organization. They're based in Zurich. They provide energy for the city of Zurich. And then we were also in touch with SIG, so it's an energy provider in Geneva in Switzerland. So for the pilot phase, we believe that we will work with those two energy providers, and we will see for the next stages how can we increase this participation of energy providers in terms of energy consumption. Okay, so this is the last discipline, the fifth one. It's about circularity and food waste management. So in fact, this discipline, it's a little bit more complicated than the others in order to measure it, because it's quite complex to assess the amount of food that is wasted on the household level. So we are working with different food waste communities in Switzerland, but we hope that we can make this network a little bit larger in different cities. And the idea is really to rely on the practices which are already there in terms of assessing food waste, but also preventing food waste. So this is the last discipline. So here on the map, you can see different cities we're working already with. And in fact, the competition is open to any city. The only requirement is to have at least 30 participants who can register before 15th of July for the Climate City Cup. And in order to make a registration, so we invite you to consult our website. You can also scan a QR code if it's more, if it's easier for you. And by the next week, we're going to release the registration. We're going to open the registration for the Climate City Cup, and we hope to have many people from different cities on board in order to exchange knowledge and share best practices. Yes, that's a little bit it about the Climate City Cup. So here you can see the time frame. The most important date is the 18th of July. That's when the Climate City Cup starts. We will launch it in Bangalore in India. And the competition will last for 4 months. And on the 18th of November, we will distribute awards of the Climate City Cup, and we will combine it with another interesting event on blockchain that is called Future ICT 2.0 Forum here in Zurich. So yes, we're looking forward to meeting you soon and to have as many participants as possible, and we're open to any questions and discussions.
Thank you very much, Fatime. This was really a wonderful presentation, and this is such an important initiative in terms of getting really everybody engaged. All these political discussions that we have here at these UN conferences will only be implemented once the citizens will also feel part of this fight against the climate crisis, and when this kind of activities will be enjoyable and motivating, and gamification is a very important element, and working with cities is very important, and therefore I'm so happy to have with us César Carreño, the Senior Officer for Low Carbon Pathway at ICLEI. Please, César, tell us a few words about how you are engaged and what perspectives you see for the initiative.
Well, thank you very much, Miroslav, and thank you to Stefan and Fatima there for the information that they have provided on the basis of the initiative. ICLEI is a transnational network of local governments. Within these local governments, we included their states, cities, commonwealths, towns, and villages. And we are always supporting and backing up initiatives that tackle climate change and supports sustainable development in all of its scopes and forms. So at this point, we are very proud of collaborating with the initiative, because we have seen that has a lot of potential that can permeate through all of the layers and levels between the policymakers and the local leaders through the citizens. This means that we provide ownership and will provide potential for the citizens to engage in a more further significant, transparent way through the use of apps or different types of technology that will allow them to map out and monitor all of the numbers that they generate, either on demand of energy, on kilometers walked, on the use of airplanes, on how many tons do they recycle, how many tons do they don't recycle. So this will allow them to see the impact that they have individually and as a community. Through the support and collaboration within the Climate City Cup, ICLEI pretends to engage with all of our networks, which is around 1,800 cities, and promote the initiative to, number one, engage local leaders and policymakers for leveraging processes of communication with the inhabitants, citizens, and why not to the commuters that come and live within a city and work during the day and then leave back to their homes. No? So what is our idea? To integrate and to engage the whole community, creating pillars of communication throughout these apps, and at the same time allowing to generate more transparent data for local leaders to develop more effective and indicative policies that can, at some point, alleviate further burdens and problems that the city might have. So we see this as a crossing point between the private sector, the NGOs, and the local leaders, the cities, the communities, that will create a framework of enhanced collaboration, communication, and trust in both ways. No? So we are very excited of participating, and we hope that the launching will be a success.
Thank you very much, César. Are there any questions? Yes, please. Please get the microphone.
Hello, my name is Sandra Prüfer. I'm here an NGO observer, but I'm also based in Bonn, journalist and communication consultant, and I really like this a lot. Now, one question is there a limit how many cities can participate, and is this platform available in different languages? That's more like on a practical level. Then also through the city, IAAI and your partners, are you reaching out or targeting certain cities? I'm thinking now, for example, in Germany, the 57 cities that are, not above the EU air pollution acceptable level. So that would really help them, for example, to collect data. Another thought was there's so many cities now where also here in Bonn the climate activists are submitting citizen proposal to call for a climate emergency. So that would be then maybe also, once this is done, something practical to do. So this is a question, is there a limit, and are you targeting certain cities or reaching out to certain communities to promote this new communication platform?
Thank you for the questions and the great suggestions. I guess that Fatime and Stefan would like to first answer.
Yes, thank you for the question. Miro, could you yes, thank you. So about the number of cities, in principle, we would want to keep it as open as possible, but there is certainly a limit to what we can handle during the pilot phase in 2019, especially when it comes to server capacities, but also creating meaningful rankings out of the data. So we currently foreseen something around maximum 10 cities that makes sense for us for the pilot phase. But what we haven't mentioned so far yet is that we kind of foresee this in a 2-year rhythm, so that we're going to have every other year another Climate City Cup. That would mean next one would then already be in 2021, and we would definitely want to scale it already heavily for the second time. So this is really a bit also for all of us to learn what is possible, what can we do, what is our potential obstacles in this 4-month period where we measure things, and how can we improve that for a second version of the Climate City Cup. On the other hand, the platform will be open for everybody to contribute, and even cities that will not be in the ranking in the end, as people can still contribute their data and report on their commuting. And so we don't want to exclude anyone from participating in the Climate City Cup. This is really important to stress. And there is not specific regions that we focus on. It's just, it grew naturally like that we have a strong presence in India and a strong presence in Switzerland and in Central Europe. But it would actually be very nice to have other regions of the world represented already in the first Climate City Cup.
Thank you very much, Stefan and Fatime. I have put on the slide with the contact details.
We cannot hear you anymore. You're still muted. So
yes, let's change this. So thank you very much, Stefan and Fatime, for this wonderful initiative and your great work. I have put on the slide now with the contact details and the Twitter handles and everything, so that you can find more information. It's climatecitycup.org. And any concluding statement also from you?
Yes, just to add on the answer regarding which type of cities are we pretend to target. Of course, we will be very happy to have the cities that do have the resources and the willingness to participate, but it's our idea to encourage further cities to engage at this point, even if they have some constraints, because this will push their idea or motivation to move through international initiatives. So I hope that at some point we can grow up and make even bigger contributions to motivate cities of all sizes and levels, and of course around the world.
Wonderful. So just very briefly at the end, also some information how our work with IAAI Glotcha connects with this. We are working on getting everybody engaged in climate action, and we have the pillars culture, technology, and organization. In the field of culture, we have also a competition. It's the Global Challenges Youth Music Contest, which we are using to inspire and motivate people to take climate action and sustainable development goals action. And in this context, we have set up a campaign for mass mobilization for climate action. It's called Action Now, and we have had 2 days ago a press conference about this campaign and the plans for the next 12 months. So please visit the UNFCCC webcast page for SB50, and then you will find the on-demand of that video. And we are also focusing on technology to have really this connection between local action and global goals. And we are a founding member of the Climate Chain Coalition, which is a network of 170 organizations and institutions working in the field of how can we use modern blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology to enhance climate action. And we are working in the field of organization, setting up local level and individual level tools for empowering people and communities to take action. And tomorrow at 11:30 we have in the conference room Kaminzimmer, a side event about getting everyone engaged in climate action through culture, technology, and resource mobilization. And you are all kindly invited to join us either in person or via the webcast that is provided by the UNFCCC. And with this, I wish you a wonderful day, and I wish the Climate City Cup initiative a great success. I think it will certainly become very famous and successful in the future.
Thank you very much for your...
Thank you.
Thank you.